Slacky. Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakah, Hakodesh, and the honors to our apostles and elders, a great milestone, who taught us the truth. Shalom to you all, giving up us the word across the four corners of this globe without truth and sincerity. Bahasham, Rakah, Hakodesh. And I just want to get a quick topic, mainly to base it upon, the sole purpose, like the the reason and the significance behind the resurrection of our Lord Yahawashi, and how in these last days, everybody's getting ready to see how everything is going to come full circle, so to speak, man. Despite, back in the day when Jake was calling out, for Barabbas, when Pilate, he called out for a known fugitive to release rather than Yahawashi. And what our people do? They cried out for, the known fugitive, by the name of Barabbas, even though Yahawashi committed no, crime. And they and what they do, they cried out the more to crucify him. Showing no care and knowing, showing no, what's the word? Like care, just showing no acknowledgement towards the seriousness, which we understood it's all according to prophecy. But those niggas in the crowd that cried out, so much so to the point to where they said, to let his blood be upon ours and our children's blood, right? Showing no sense of care in the world or acknowledgement of how serious who this being is, who this very person is that they're calling out against the crucifying. Showing no care in the in the fucking world, man. But yet they cried out the more to crucify. Showing no care, showing no insignificant, showing no significance to the reasons, who he is. But once again, we understand that it was all according to prophecy that he still had to suffer that. He had to go through that. But this is in Daniel chapter 7. When Daniel received this vision before the time Yahawashi, had to suffer what he had to suffer. I'll just go ahead and read it. But pretty much, the vision of what Daniel had in the future for what was going to transpire in these last days. But this is verse 9. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. And that's dealing with the Most High himself, Yahweh. His throne was like a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him. Thousands ministered unto him. The angels. And 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set and the books were open. Verse 11, I beheld then because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, and this is dealing with America. Fast forward up around I believe, the sixth verse. Wait, no, slugging. The seventh verse. After this I saw in a night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong, exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured, breaking pieces, and stamped the residue at the feet of it. And it was diverse among the beasts that were before, and it had 10 horns. That's dealing with the Roman Empire. And I considered the horns, and beheld, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were three, but the first one was plucked up by the roots. So, the Roman Empire fell. But we can get that in the book of Revelations. But for the sake of this lesson, that's another lesson for another time. But that little horn I was talking about of this great beast, this fourth great beast, because at a point in history the Roman Empire fell, and through the Renaissance, is what we know as through the it's lucky, yeah. So America takes on the spirit as the Roman Empire, and dealing with those other three horns that are plucked up by the roots. Is dealing with the three wars that America had. For it to be established, with the Spanish War, and the Great Britain, and they fought against the French also. So these different European nations had parts in America, but in that land. But for America to be established, they had to fight out all three of those, different nations for America to be established. So that's what it's talking about, with those three being plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of men, and a mouth speaking great things. Speaking prideful things. It's no surprise of America's great pride. Right, it goes around destroying the world, establishing its garrisons upon every city, ruling over every city, with no negotiation, just the economic hitman and whatnot. It takes everything by force. Just and then just look at the deeds of this place. What I'm saying, just the great, abominations of this place, just the lifestyle, the faggotry and shit, and all types of shit. Beholding this one's, yeah, but yeah, and as you know, America takes on, the spirit of Rome. Rome had, like Rome didn't have like a traditional type of monarchy. You still, the same way how today, you got to vote, quote unquote vote, right? For Republican, Democrat. It was the same thing in Rome. You had coins, the faces of different leaders and coins. The Colosseums. The same thing you see. These athletic arenas and whatnot. The Gregorian calendar, the times of the world. These different holidays, these pagan holidays and whatnot. They all go back to ancient Rome. And America is spearheading it in the same spirit of ancient Rome. That's why, That's why it talks about that great horn upon that fourth beast, and with eyes of a man and a mouth speaking great things. Especially in today's time with the pressure that we have, with Nero, you know what I'm saying, as far as his pride goes, it's without discussion. This nigga is very prideful. But going back down to what we was talking about, verse 11, and I beheld, then because of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. How is that going to happen? Through thermonuclear ICBM fire, man. In World War III. Verse 12, as concerned the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives are prolonged for a season and a time. Because they're going to, serve, in the kingdom for slavery, man. And this is the main point. The main point that I want to bring about in the 13th verse. It's the reasons, just the whole significance. Why Yahawashi, he had to do what he had to do to bring us back to the Most High, man, and for him to return back into his glory, man, because because we were fallen. Verse 13, I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion. It's like with all the background noise. I'm at a truck stop right now. But verse 13, I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Now this is Daniel seeing this, man. Now I want to get to the scene to where Yahawashi was asked if he was the king of the Jews. Fucking. This is Matthew chapter 26, verse let's set a verse. I'll set a verse. Sounds like it. Let's set at verse 60. Damn. So 59. Now the chief priests and elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahawashi to put him to death, but found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. At the last came 2 false witnesses, and said, This fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of the Most High and to build it in 3 days. Verse 62. And the high priest arose and said unto him, Answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witnesses against thee? But Yahawashi held his peace. And the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living power that thou tellest whether thou be the Hamashiach, the Son of the Most High. Yahawashi said unto him, Thou hast said. Nevertheless, I say unto you, hereafter shall you see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. And the high priest rent his clothes, saying, He has spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now ye have heard his blasphemy. What think ye? They answered and said, He is guilty of death. Yeah. But I want to get to the point to where I think Pontius Pilate asked him. Kind of like you. I guess that was the point. Because all the Lord said was thou says, but maybe in a different point of view. Yeah, that's it. Come. But I'll just read it again. In Luke 22, verse 66, and as soon as it was day, the elders of the people and the chief priests and the scribes came together and led him into their council, saying, Art thou the Hamashiach? Tell us. And he said unto them, If I tell you, you would not believe. And if I also ask you, you would not answer me, nor let me go. Hereafter shall the Son of Man sit on the right hand of the power of the Most High. Then said they all, Art thou then the Son of the Most High? And he said unto them, Ye say that I am. But, if you know, you know what I'm saying? That truly this is the Son of the Most High, man. It just wasn't given to these false leaders, and, the non-elect for them to see this thing, But because this is all according to prophecy, man. Nonetheless, you shall, after all this transpires, you put him to death, then you shall see him, in his glory, man. This is Luke, I think 17. Right now, she's looking. No, John. It's like it. Let's get to the main point. Yeah, come on. This is John chapter 17, start at verse 1. These words spake Yahawashi, and lifted up his eyes to heaven, and said, Father, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee, as thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him. And this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true power, and Yahawashi Mashiach, whom thou hast sent. Yeah. I have glorified, verse 4, I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was, man. Before the world was, man. You know what I'm saying? So, the Lord came up, and another precept where the Lord, where it says pretty much, how the Lord, he willingly gave his life up, man. Willingly, man. Where he was rich and he was made poor. I don't know if you're paraphrasing. Where yeah, I'll get that. Yeah, it's lucky. On 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verse verse 9. For you know the grace of our Lord Yahawashi, Hamashiach, that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that ye through his poverty might be rich. You know? Shalakia. Shalakia, man. Yeah, Shalakia, man. I can't find it, man. Shalakia, man. But pretty much, you know, the Lord made himself, you know, lower. You know, he made himself poor, you know, and laid down his life for us, man. You know, he did this thing willingly, man. He did this willingly, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? The Lord did this, you know what I'm saying, for us to be brought back. I'm gonna go back to Daniel. But this is all according to prophecy, man. We're in these last days, man. Everything is shifting towards the kingdom, man. You know, this place is dwindling. You know what I'm saying? The drain, man. Like the Lord said, it is his determination. You know what I'm saying? For him to muster up World War III and all these prophecies and these different systems that that he's using through Esau to establish these different technocracies and bullshit. You know what I'm saying, for the hour of temptation and the implementation of the RFID hip. You know, all these different things, man. These different things pertain to prophecy. Because in the end, man, the kingdom is going to be established, man. The glory of the Lord is gonna be established, man. The Lord's gonna come back, you know what I'm saying, visit the world which he created. This is all what's getting ready to go down to, man. You know? Daniel chapter 7. Verse 14, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. All people, man, all languages, all nations, you know what I'm saying? You know, you're dealing with the World Cup today. You gotta think, man, everybody is gonna serve Yahawashi outside. Everybody's gonna serve the Israelites, man. That's the spirit. You know what I'm saying, you know, an Amazon Prime, you know, truck just drove by. You know, and I was just thinking about, you know, that animated show, Invincible, on dealing with the vulture mites, right? Them vulture mites are bad dudes, man. You know, they're truly in invincible race. You know, conquering planets. You know, it don't matter what language species they are. They did a conquer, man. And can't nobody fuck with them, man. Can't nobody fuck with them. They just gonna destroy you just off their bare strength. Flying, you know, with their hands. You know, just tear you in pieces with their bare hands. You know what I'm saying? The Viltrumite race, you know? How much more, you know what I'm saying, the Yashar Allah, man? You know what I'm saying? The Israelite race, man. Back in their glory alongside Yahawashi. Yahawashi leading forth. Through spirit and power, man. You know what I'm saying? And our infinite source, the Most High Yahweh, through his son, Yahawashi. You know, this kingdom is for him. This kingdom is for him and his people, man. You know what I'm saying? With the government established, man. You know, him spearheading the government with King David alongside him, and alongside the 144,000. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, come. Verse 17. These, matter of fact, I said verse 15. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions in my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. Yeah, you know, like, why is he seeing all this? So he told me and made me know the interpretation of the things. These great beasts which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Ever. Then I will know the truth of the fourth beast, which is diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth was yeah, man. You know, the Roman Empire. You know, I'm skipping down a couple verses. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up in before whom 3 fell, you know, it's dealing with America. Even of that horn that had eyes in the mouth that spake very great things. Yeah, that's America. Whose look was more stout than his fellows, you know, more prideful. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them, man. That's no, come on, man, slavery alone, man. And, you know what I'm saying, you know, made war with the saints, oppression, you know, against you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? You know what I'm saying? Just hell upon hell, man, throughout history, man. You know what I'm saying? The same horn made war, declared war with the saints, man. You know, systematic racism and all that. You know, red lines and all that. You know, like you might say, like bro, like fucking Jim Crow, you know that, and then even past the Jim Crow era. what I'm saying? Jake getting shot dead in the streets, and what I'm saying? Just all types of shit, man. It's even still going on to this day, man. Verse 22, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. The time is coming, man. The time came. The time came, man. Everything is going towards the time of the Israelites, man. The time of Yahawashi ruling. This is his time. This is the reason why he did what he did 2,000 years ago, man. Everybody in the fucking world and the planet is shifting towards this time, whether they believe it or whether they don't believe it, or whether they do or they don't want to or not, man. Everybody is gonna see this, man. Like how everybody's on the same time right now. I'm saying, you gotta get up, go to work. That's just the norm. Imagine a completely new norm. Like, bro, it's no more than that. Like a new norm, man. You know what I'm saying? Complete world domination of Yahawashi in his race. I'm saying, the kingdom gonna be established. No more UN meetings, right? No more. Getting up like it's gonna be a different lifestyle of the human race. Well, for these nations, man, he's gonna be serving the Israelites, man. You're gonna be seeing supernatural things, supernatural forces, right? Hey, bro, it's gonna come. This is what life is shifting towards, too, man. It's on the Bible. It's on the scriptures. It's on the Bible, man. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Everybody's under the Roman influence through America in these last days. Verse 24, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and others shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, think to change times and laws, and they shall be given to his hand until the time and times and dividing of times. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. You know what I'm saying? Who's him? You know what I'm saying? You know who him is, man. You know what I'm saying? You know who him is, man. All dominions shall serve and obey him. That's point blank period, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason. Everything happened for a reason, under the sun, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole bunch of atheists in today's time, not knowing that they about to take the seat up. Or, you know what I'm saying, they probably, got they took the jump shot or whatever. It ain't, man. I'm saying, I'm saying, Yahawashi, man, shots elect, they're in tune with the spirit, man. They ain't ignorant. They understand prophecy. Us at that hopeful number, we strive to be in tune, man. And keep our spiritual garments upon us, man. So that when it take place, there's no surprise. It's gonna be a surprise to the world, but it's no surprise to us, man. That's tuning in. We're watching. We're watching and being vigilant and staying upon our watch. Like it says in Habakkuk chapter 2, man. Just to stand you upon the tower. I'm saying we're being watchmen. But calm, man. That's pretty much the main points that I wanted to bring out for this lesson. I don't want to make this too long, but it's a spirit. But until next time, I say shalom.